softly. Maybe. Yeah, get a little higher. Kind of wish this would go higher. Oh. Is this the part that's adjustable? Oh! That's hilarious. I didn't realize that could happen. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, now ladies. Yeah. Alright. Well, that's fun. I'm glad we know this now. This is one. Okay, great. Maybe my posture will be better now. Alright. That's hilarious. Oh, I wish I got more of that on camera. Alright, well. Quick PSA, my roommates are playing Valorant in the other room, so you might hear occasional screaming, but whatevs. Okay, so hello, welcome to log 36. It was log 35 last time. I know I said 34, but pish posh. Today is Saturday. It's the last day of February. Yay! Yes, today was the official big artist date that had to be an outing, kind of, based on last week's thing. And I was talking about my plans for it yesterday as well. A lot of trips. Yeah, I also had to go to a historical museum to talk to the museum curator because I have 4 pieces featured, and there's going to be a show in early March, which is exciting, which I still have not bought the frames for, which I will be doing tomorrow. Because it is currently 10:17. It's very funny. It's very ironic. I was just working on an excellent comic idea that I had in the shower, as one does. And it was really good. I wanted to get all of it down, you know. I was like, okay, I don't care about the drawing quality. It's fine. I just want to get all of my ideas down on paper. That never happens. I get the ideas down for like the first panel, maybe, and then I immediately get straight into just drawing normally. Restraint has been the goal word. I think I was talking about my professor yesterday, actually, about my oil painting. Just holding back that compulsive urge to overwork and to put in more effort than you need to. Yes. So, I actually did exercise restraint at the end because it's not out yet, but the comic, it might be out by the time this is done. It's about work-life balance. Yay! But I think it's a fun metaphor, because I love my metaphors, that will maybe help me understand my mind a little more, because I've been editing a lot of my videos today, and the last 3 or 4 vlogs have just all been talking about work-life balance, what's work, what's project, what's personal, what's rest, all that stuff. So I edited 3 of those, I showered, and it was all compiled in my head, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe it's like a jungle. And yeah, I think I've categorized it into like my 3 separate categories and all that stuff. We'll see if it works or not. It probably... it might. Because the one comic about overthinking has actually helped me a lot. So, we'll see. But ironically, I got to the point where, in the comic, where I was talking about, then you have like your projects, your commitments, and it's important to fend those off because you need your space. And then at that moment I realized I was working on the comic for an hour, and I'm tired, and I kind of have a headache. So I was like, fine, I'll finish it in the morning. And I stopped the work. I did it. I followed my own advice. So that's fun. Anyway, today, went to the museum, the first one. Great. Before that, actually, I had to buy tickets. I did a lot. I spent the whole first chunk of the day way outside of my comfort zone. Which I think I should give myself a pat on the back for, actually, because I haven't done that yet. Good job. But, because I had to call the other museum office because I wanted a student discount ticket, $5. That's a really good deal. So I had to call and ask and give her my information, and she put me the ticket. And I have a feeling the only way to get the student discount is if you called them. There was no text or email option, so I have a feeling they were using that to their advantage because most people my age do not like phone calls. But I don't know, that's just a funny hypothesis. But I did that, looked up parking because the other museum I went to today was in Philadelphia, and it's a city. I haven't driven in a city before. Granted, I do live next to a pretty busy tourist spot, and I live in, like, Jersey. So, you know, Jersey drivers, they're kind of insane. The speed limit is 10 over, kind of thing. So, you know, the tourist spot, when people from, like, the other cities, New York and Philly, they come over, they bring their lovely driving skills. So, I worked at that tourist spot for a couple summers, so I'm used to some pretty intense driving environments. So I kind of figured I could probably handle this. But I still never wanted to ever attempt it if I didn't have to. So you're telling me not only did I drive into a city alone, but I also went just for myself, just for the sake of going to an art museum. And then coming back. I paid for a ticket, I paid for parking, I even got a little muffin and some overpriced coffee at the end. I did all of that for me, for my artist self. And get this, even better, I brought my iPad and I did a study. I sat down in the art museum and I did a study. I think alright, I'm going to restrain my opinions, restraint, on the study itself, and just celebrate the fact that I went there and I did a study. Quantity over quality right now. And I did some other ones in like a sketchbook with lined paper, with like a pen, and casual stuff. But that was really cool, actually. It had a lot of Impressionist paintings, and I've been raving about that recently. And yeah, it was really cool. I'm kind of hoping that, like, just being in that environment with all of the really good paintings around me, I'd kind of just, like, absorb the mastery and the techniques by, like, being there. If I just, like, stared at them hard enough. That might kind of be why I have a headache right now, because I just stared so intensely for most of the day. But I just... oh, such good art. Such good art. Although, unfortunately, I will say, I haven't been to many art museums, so when I was in this one, it kind of gave me the vibes of just looking through a real-life Pinterest board. I know, I'm such a teenager, even though I'm not. I feel like one. But that's besides the point. What was the point? I don't know. Whatever it was, that was besides it. Right before that, before the fun art museum, we had the historical museum, which will become an art museum in a couple weeks because there will be art there. It was a lot more chill than I thought. I don't know, I guess I was expecting, I don't know, a historical museum. I was expecting them to be meaner, I guess. But no, the curator was a sweet old archaeologist who just wanted to give me the rundown because it's a student art show, so it's most people's first time having work in an exhibition. But I was like overqualified for that because not only have I had work featured already, but I worked at an art gallery or this past summer, so I know all of the exhibition knowledge. But not so much with the personal frame buying though, because the last time I had a frame provided for me and that was really nice. No, you know what? I think I just found one in my attic, actually. Now I have to buy them. Okay, well, long story short, it was nice, but I'm itching for more professional fancy stuff, I think. But I'm still a student, can't be impatient. Building blocks, stepping stones, all that jazz. And I stayed up pretty late last night, actually. Kind of unintentionally. Right, I did a bunch of tasks last night, which was great. A lot of it was actually Pinterest board related. Because you had to, like, you know, imagine 5 more imaginary lives. What would you do if you were 20 and had money? That was kind of funny to think about because I'm 21, so it's not too far off. It was a nice reminder to remember, you know, 21 is really young, so I've got a while to figure all this out. And then the other one was, what would you do if you were 65 and had money? That was a little more interesting, but nothing to really note. But then you had to, like, find images related to that stuff and then, like, stick it all in a Google Drive or an image file or something. So I did that. It was kind of boring, honestly, but probably useful if I actually went back and looked at the file. Watched a movie. Ate some cookies. I'm not really sure if I felt super restful last night. Here's the thing. I'm really good at restraint in a bad way, I think. When I have something good, right? If I have a treat or a fun activity or something restful and indulgent feeling planned, or if I have the opportunity for that, I won't actually do it or pursue it or eat it or whatever it is. I'll just hang it over my head like a carrot on a stick and use it to get me to do more work. Like, say for example, you gave me a box of cookies or a really, really good YouTube video just got uploaded. That immediately gets sent into temporary storage for me. It gets put behind a glass case, and I say, okay, if you do these 3 things, then you can watch it. And then sometimes I do those 3 things, and I'm just thinking the whole time, man, I can't wait to watch that. It's gonna be so awesome. And then I do the 3 things, and then I add 2 more things to the list. And I just keep putting things in between the reward until I'm just working non-stop for a reward I might not even give myself. No one else is doing this. I'm the one with the whip. And I don't know, it's become more apparent recently. It's just a curious little thing, a little habit that I just thought, why? Under what circumstances would someone get used to doing that? Why do I do that? Oh, I'm sure there's an answer if I think about it enough, but it's just funny. And you know what? It reflects in my paintings. I think part of the reason why I overwork things is because I procrastinate on my favorite parts. If there's a highlight on the face that I just can't wait to put down because I know it'll fix everything, I work on everything else around it first. But then I also do that to the things I really don't want to work on. So there's like a procrastination on both ends of the spectrum. I avoid the bad things, but I also avoid the good things. So, great part is though, work-wise, the timers really help with that, because when the hour's running out, I know I'll stop. So I just get done all the stuff I was saving for later, right then. And then, oh my gosh, look at that. You get those things done, and then what you actually have to do next then shows up. That's the thing. I expect my mind to be the exact same after I give myself the reward. I expect there to be no use to the reward because it's just a reward. But it's not. There's more. I would actually benefit a lot from letting myself do the things I want to do. Okay, one last thing to note. Driving out of Philly today, the roads were a bit confusing. My GPS app had some weird symbol on it, wasn't really sure what was happening. Long story short, there was a minor evasive maneuver. Don't worry, I am a good driver. I know how to be confused safely on the road. But there was a turn. Didn't know the signs, didn't know what was where. But there was a split-second decision. There were a couple split-second decisions in a row, actually. And I trusted my gut. I followed my intuition in the moment. I didn't question it. I didn't hesitate. And it worked out fine. I went exactly on the road on the exit ramp I was supposed to, and I was going straight home. And that was very nice. I think it's another byproduct of starting to trust myself more, and what do you know? My intuition is not too bad. Yeah, but it's 10:30 and I'm really tired. That's what happens when you actually go out for a day and like do things besides sit at your desk and work on this thing or that thing. But before I go to bed, I want to watch YouTube videos. I want to rest and do fun things, whatever they may be. Now, usually, I'd say, great, yeah, we can do that. Just, you know, clean all the clothes off your bed and answer this email and do all that first, and then you can. And then by that point, it's midnight, and I can't even go to bed on time. No, this time I'll actually force myself to do the thing I want to do. Sounds like it shouldn't be hard, but it is. But not for long. So, good night, and I will see you in March. It's exciting.